Hello, good morning. We got the Agt H15 in review with the gas engine. I bought this machine used new, cash sale, a couple hours on it. Guess no warranty because I don't have the invoice. The welds on it are kind of scabby. This side here was decent, but the welds on the other side here are not as decent. Like you're seeing a lot of undercut and pock marks, pitting. Now the water's getting in it. It's rusting. I'm gonna have to get some paint on there. Like they completely missed right in there. The weld qualities on it's quite poor, but if you know anything about welding, you know that that much weld and that much weld could hold that on there. So overbuilt to begin with, but would have been nice to see a little more pride in the craftsmanship, but they're just all about making a buck and getting it over here. So they come with some weird grease needle fittings, so you got to switch those out and grease them. The guy said he greased it, but he only greased what he could. He just rubbed grease on the outside of the bolts, but that's not China's fault. You got your little temperature hydraulic oil. So one of the first things I did before I'm gonna put any real hours on it is drop the Chinese oil out of the engine and the hydraulics. I just pumped out about 4 liters of the hydraulics and added some good stuff, and then did the engine oil. The engine oil, I believe, just comes with break-in oil. So my buddy bought a Chinese dirt bike before, and it had break-in oil in it, and he rode it, and it cooked the engine the first day. So I put some good heavy-duty Rotella T, next best thing, Motormaster. But this is the oil that came out of it. It wasn't great. I'm really glad that I changed it right away before I put any real hours on it, because it did do a break-in. They don't give you any instructions with how to do a break-in on these things or whatever, so probably just like any machine, right? You run it a little bit and go easy on it and change the oil and keep an eye on everything. So that's what we did. It was a little bit of a cold night last night. It almost snowed here at sea level yesterday, but it didn't. It was just cold. It snowed up in the hills a little bit. First thing, you know, running it compared to as a real machine, it did feel a little more jerky. No lack of power. It takes a long time to warm up, so we'll get this thing fired up, warming up off the trailer, and then we will head over to our little work site over here. We got a bunch of blackberry bushes tear out, got some truck axles to move, and a tree to take down, and a bunch of just general little mini excavator chores there. So I will show you what it's like to start this thing. Haven't started it many times, but it has stalled on me a few times and has cranked over quite a bit before it fired up. So here goes a cold start. I'll just get the camera set up here somewhere so you can see, go over the controls actually a little bit with you here first. Got your throttle, got your hydraulic locks, which only does the sticks. Still have track power at idle and stuff with that on. And then you got your work light and your hour meter and your night switch. Yeah, so that's that, fairly basic. You got your gas engine inside, your hydraulic pump, some stuff over here. Not sure what that canister is down there, if it's a filter. I hope it's a filter. I'd like to see a filter on this thing somewhere. If not, I probably will be putting a filter on somewhere, somehow. They don't make it easy to check the engine oil. Access to the engine is gained through here. Take off this panel. You can get into do the oil change, but it wasn't easy. It was, you know, messy, hard to get in there, but whatever. It's a machine. They all are like that. Another thing is I should check those pump bolts. I should check all those engine bolts too, because first thing that I noticed was loose bolts on the drive motors. So I had to tighten these up. These didn't even have the lock washer crushed, so I don't know who assembled that, but it was not very good. Tighten those up, change the grease nipples, change the oil, and then I noticed that one of the drive sprockets came with, I don't know, this thing was lightly used before I got it, so I don't know if it got a rock in there and broke or not, but the drive cog actually had a crack in it. I gouged it out and welded it up with my Chinese welder. It is cast steel, I believe, so it should weld up okay. It is still cracked on the other side. I do not feel, actually it doesn't even feel cracked on the other side. I don't feel much. Oh yeah, cracked a little bit, but you know, it probably would have worked cracked for a long time, but this will just help it. I'm in the process of trying to track one of these down. I heard all the parts are available on Amazon. I haven't been able to find this exact JBD 44 sprocket, so in search for that, contacting AGT or this company out of Chicago or something that seems to be representing them. I don't know how this is working, but they want the invoice for it, so it doesn't sound like I'm going to get any warranty parts out of them for it. Not much I can do. I paid for it cash. Worst comes to worst, I can always maybe get my buddy to cut one of these out of plate and make a new one. It's a pretty simple design, so that could always be done, or just keep searching. Like I'm sure they're out there for sure. So they got a parts list they say you can download, but I haven't been able to figure out how to download it. I haven't seen the link or whatever. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing right off the get-go, but not the first time it's happened to me with Chinese stuff, or even good stuff, you know. Everything's made in China these days, so let's just fire it up. I still got some grease nipples to change on the blade. There's those needle valve things, like, see, that guy never greased it. Not even, the paint's not even scratched. So undercarriage, your swing gear is fully exposed, so you don't want to bury this thing in mud or get a lot of mud and dirt up in there like he pretty much already has. So there's that, and not a cool design, but whatever. You know, this thing is light duty, so I don't know why they bothered putting a cover on the rest of the swing gear when they didn't cover that part of the swing gear. And you know what, it almost looks like there's a tab there or something where a cover could be put on, but I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and run her today like a machine, and we'll see what blows up, or if it just is gonna be a money maker. So let's fire it up. Just gotta pull this pin off the trailer. And the tilt deck is able to tilt. Get the coffee, safe spot. Get the camera set up here let you guys watch it warm up. Easiest way to get in these things is through the front, not around the side, because it's pretty thin right here to try to squeeze through. So I go through the front, got the seat holds right off. The choke's down here, the keys are light switch. A little bit of throttle seems to help. Well, that's unexpected. Or is it? What a piece of shit. Not happy about this. not a good start. Brand new machine, already have to give it the fucking diesel. Not a good start. There we go. Maybe it's not getting enough gas.